hosepipe bans, and 9 more things to be angry about. It hasn't rained in like 3 or 4 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain for a while. And by the looks of it, they're doing hosepipe bans like all over the UK. So it's only a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they do them here. So I'm getting here quick. I'm getting in here quick before we have a hosepipe ban, before I can't do this. Put your angry typing fingers away. Not everything is as it seems. And you'll have to watch to the end of the video if you want to know how I managed to not use a hosepipe to water my lawn. Actually, I did use a hosepipe to water my lawn. Yes, I did use a hosepipe to water my lawn. Or did I? Look, you will have to wait until the end of the video if you want to see what I'm talking about. But first, I want to talk to you about hosepipe bans, rationing, self-entitlement, and indeed 9 more things to be angry about, where I do a quick rundown of my last 9 videos in season 8 of Why Aren't People Angry About This? But first, let's look at the wider aspects of why we need the nanny state to tell us not to shit on our own doorstep or water our lawns in a drought, why we need them to ration our petrol, ban our use of hosepipes, and most importantly, bring in legislation to stop us destroying our own life support systems here on Earth. The idea that someone would actually water their lawns with a hosepipe in a drought, to most of us sounds crazy, but this is what a lot of people do. And if there is a threat of an imminent hosepipe ban, a lot of people will try and water their lawns before the ban comes in, which has the immediate and direct knock-on effect of hastening the hosepipe ban. We've seen the same thing with petrol. One sniff of there might be a petrol or gas shortage, everyone rushes out, fills up their cars and causes a petrol crisis. The same thing has happened with toilet roll, pasta, sriracha, tampons and even cream cheese. Oh my God, there's a tampon shortage. I'd better go out and stock up. But Dave, you're a bloke. The point is that if Dave can't be trusted not to go out and bulk buy tampons, gas, pasta, toilet roll, and not to water his lawn in a drought, how do we convince him to cut down on some of his first world privileges like flying, driving and eating meat for the unseen sake of future generations? I sort of skirt around this question quite a lot in this season 8's videos, and directly in one video in particular. But before we go there, if you like this video, please do show me some love by shooting the like button. And if you don't have the time to watch the entire video just now, why not subscribe to my channel and check back later? So let's start with the provocatively titled, Can the Fast Food Industry Save the Planet? That controversially tries to offer some praise to Burger King. You be the judge. Here's the clip. Burger King, McDonald's, junk food, fast food, slaughter of 1 billion oxen, and possible saviour of billions more. From a purely economic point of view, forgetting the time and cost of raising a cow for 18 months, then slaughtering it and butchering it, if you can take that grain, corn, maize, wheat or soy, process it and feed it directly to humans, you have just produced 7 vegan Whoppers for the same cost as a single beef Whopper. And what is great about this is that both Burger King and McDonald's are exploring this at the same time. So it hopefully won't turn into some sort of, if you want real beef, come to McDonald's type war. McDonald's and Burger King collectively sell over 4 billion burgers every year. So that's around 2.5 million cows a year. So this is big, this is big, this is very, very big. But more importantly, just as importantly or not as importantly, depending on what you think, this will become a gateway drug or a vegan gateway for the normalisation of vegan food to the very people most reluctant to embrace it. So next up, we have something completely different. where I am upstaged by my girlfriend who answers your questions in a gloves-off event about what it is like to live with a climate activist. Here's the clip. What is it like to be in a relationship with a climate video activist? I don't even know if that's the proper description for me, but I do know I must be a proper pain in the arse to live with. And if you are finding this difficult to watch, which, trust me, judging by my fan mail, many people do, then can you imagine what it must be like to live with me? I'm going to be talking to you. Actually, I'm not going to be talking to you. My girlfriend's going to be talking to you about what it must be like to live with a climate warrior and fanatic such as me.
Well, bearing in mind he won't throw the toast away if it does get burnt. Not great. There's no waste in this household, that's for sure. Yeah, quietly seething, but only on odd occasions. Usually quite tolerant, unless the dishwasher has been misloaded. And one of my favourite sports is misloading the dishwasher just for fun.
I'm glad we've had this little chat. Okay, fair enough.
It's one of my favourite things.
I know I called my channel "Why Aren't People Angry About This?" and I'm a bit angry about that.
I think you channel your anger. You channel your anger, so that's fair enough. You don't get angry about usual domestic things.
Good, that's the right answer.
Unless it's who had the last of the cheese balls.
Okay, number 3, and there are only 9 of these, so don't worry. The Earth is heating up, and because of that, sea levels are rising. And this video deals with the seemingly unknown serious consequences of coastal erosion on homes and whether homeowners are ready or even remotely aware of what is coming. Here's a clip. The floods are coming. Will your home be underwater? Will my home be underwater? Sea level rises caused by man-made climate breakdown are likely to see almost 250,000 coastal properties in the UK alone at risk of severe flooding by 2050. Are you ready? But today I'm here to talk to you about coastal flooding and why you should be concerned, why you should be very concerned. Look, before I go on here, I perhaps need to point out that this is not a uniquely UK phenomena. When sea levels rise, they rise on a global basis. So if you live by the sea, ocean, river or tributary, this applies directly to you. There is a link in the description below that allows you to put in your location and see how far above sea level you are. If you do live near the coast or know someone who lives near the coast, I really would encourage you to take a look. Obviously watch the video first, but when you are finished, take a look. The thing of it is, most people affected probably won't actually believe it. A lot like climate breakdown deniers, or will think it will be okay because your government will step in, also like climate breakdown deniers, and build some sort of flood defence. And on the latter, some of you will be right, but millions of people, most people actually, both in the developed world and worldwide, will not be protected. So, fourth up. Season 8, Video 4. Do you know what this is? It's a cycle lane, and you are not supposed to drive in it, stop in it, even for loading and unloading, and you are not supposed to park in it. But it seems that almost nobody knows the rules. Why do car drivers hate cyclists? Here's a clip. Everybody hates cyclists, but why? Look, you can lead a horse to water, but if the horse is not thirsty, you can't make it drink. And you can put in as many bike lanes as you like, but unless you make it more attractive to cycle than to drive a car, nobody will use them. Today, here I am in our local grove with my bicycle and a kilt to talk to you about why motorists really seem to hate cyclists and what we can do to change that. Everybody knows that cars are bad for the planet. Even electric ones. Everybody knows this. And with 25% of those trips being 1 mile or less and 71% being less than 5 miles. Honestly, 25% of car journeys, 1 mile or less. Even without congestion, by the time you've walked out to your car, started it, found a parking spot and walked to your destination. It probably would have been quicker to ride a bike or even walk less than 1 mile. Less than 1 mile. What is wrong with us? Okay, number 5. Sticking here with our shared roads theme. This one deals with SUV drivers and whether we should blindly label them all as climate criminals that deserve to have their tyres deflated. You decide. Here's the clip. Are all SUV drivers climate criminals that deserve to have their tyres deflated while they sleep comfortably in their smug, oversized beds? But today I'm here to talk to you about the morality of letting down strangers' tyres in the name of a safe future for our children and whether this is justified or not. You are actually 11% more likely to die. More likely, not less likely, more likely to die in an accident if you are an occupant of an SUV compared to a standard car, and twice as likely to die in an accident if you are a pedestrian involved in a collision with an SUV compared to a standard car. And when it comes to the safety of your grandchildren, if you haven't already killed them whilst in the act of driving, well, let's look at that, shall we? This situation will not improve unless we are prepared to drastically change our overprivileged first world lifestyles. And a really easy one to change, I mean really low-hanging fruit here, is our obsession with these gas-guzzling death traps. SUV exhaust emissions between 2010 and 2018 were greater than the rise in emissions from global aviation and shipping combined. Number 6. This one was really difficult to put together and my girlfriend has still been unable to watch the entire thing. For me, it started off as the unsustainable environmental cost of our industrialisation of the chicken and egg industry, but it opened my eyes to something that has changed my relationship to the poultry industry forever. Anyway, here's a clip. So why did the chicken cross the road? Probably to get away from somebody trying to slaughter it at 12 weeks old. But today I'm here to talk to you about chickens and eggs and how harvesting the latter may not be as innocent as we think, and why industrial farming and genetic modification of these almost flightless, harmless birds is destroying our environment. We are talking about intensive farming on such an industrial scale that it is destroying the very rivers that we rely on to keep balance with nature, our waterways, our drinking water, and our very own life support systems. Like oil, gas, beef, almond milk, or avocados, this is not an environmentally scalable business model, let alone a humane one. Yet many people watching this will still be heading to the supermarket, butchers, KFC, some other cheap fried chicken outlet, or have a bar snack to go with your cold beer and expect to pay pennies for a spicy chicken wing, drumsticks, spatchcock chicken, chicken curry, chicken Mary Lane, coq au vin, or a fucking chicken nuggets for the kids. Like it is someone else's job to cut down. The 7th video again deals with my long-suffering girlfriend, and here I try and justify why I don't buy her flowers anymore. Anymore? Anymore? She said, you never buy me flowers. But anyway, you can find out why I don't buy her flowers in this video. Here's a quick clip. I bought you flowers, but you wanted chocolates instead. Today I'm here to talk to you about cut flowers and why, unless they are actually from your own garden, the romance they offer is a rather dark interpretation. This bunch of flowers has a carbon cost of around 33 kilos. That's the same carbon cost as 33 pints of beer, or 33 15-minute showers in a power shower, or 62 miles in an average family car, 26 miles in an SUV, or 183 miles in an electric car. And that is why I don't buy my girlfriend flowers. Happy anniversary, darling. Here are some dead flowers that are sprayed with carcinogens that will seep into our waterways and into our food systems, which is one of the reasons that you and I and our children have a 40% chance of being diagnosed with cancer in our lifetimes. This bunch is also responsible for pumping about 33 kilos of CO2 into the atmosphere, helping our slow dystopian slide towards irreversible climate breakdown. And what I'm really pleased with about these ones is they come from a country that is actually struggling to feed its population due to using their remaining arable land and water to grow flowers for export to the developed world. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, and to cap it all, they came wrapped in single-use plastic, which could, based on our current trajectory of self-destruction, actually outlast humanity on this planet. The flowers of romance. So video 8, season 8. This one deals directly with why I think we do need legislation, incentives, carrots, sticks, etc. to change our behaviour, and why some sort of climate tax may well be the answer. It's worth a watch. Here's a clip. Today I'm here to talk to you about climate tax. Climate tax? A climate tax? I'd rather burn in hell! And why I believe it is the only way of reversing our slide into total and irreversible climate breakdown. The developed world is now spending billions every year to try and mitigate the effects of man-made climate breakdown. Yet bizarrely, governments are still spending billions subsidising the very industries that are most to blame for climate breakdown, like fossil fuel exploration and the meat industry. You couldn't make this shit up. Seriously, I currently pay a premium to my electricity provider to be on a green tariff. If we're going to beat this, and it is a big if, the green tariff should be subsidised and we should be paying a premium for dirty energy, not clean energy. But anyway, we can't have ordinary people, many of whom are already struggling to pay bills, having to pay more. The solution that a lot of far more clever people than I are beginning to get behind is a climate tax, but with an immediate rebate for all, for what would be considered a reasonable amount of carbon to live. I know it sounds nuts. So here we go, number 9, 9th video, last one. What have Lemmings, Walt Disney, Rupert Murdoch and Heatwaves got in common? Not actually that much, but I tried to bring them all together in this video about our folly of trivialising and even celebrating heatwaves. Here's a clip. But today I'm here to talk to you about heat waves and why they are not good news and how irresponsible reporting is so harmful, possibly even deadly. Disney, what hope do we have when today's narrative on climate breakdown is being dictated to the masses and controlled by the likes of self-serving media moguls such as Rupert Murdoch et al., whom most of us would readily believe would hack his own mother's phone in pursuit of a headline story? What hope do we have? Half of humanity is in the danger zone, as in being in imminent danger of being pushed off the cliff. But there will be no lucky ones in this scenario when half of the human population is in imminent danger. Do you really think they will just quietly jump off a cliff? No, of course not. This will bring mass migration like we have never ever seen before in human history. It will bring scarcity of resources, it will bring famine, and it will bring worldwide conflict, and it will bring it to your door and to the doors of your children and your grandchildren, wherever you are on this planet. There are links to all of these videos in the description below, so please do check them out, liking and commenting as you go. I realise that my particular style and irreverent approach is not for everybody, and my constantly banging on about moving towards a more plant-based diet, driving less and flying less, challenges the very people that I most need to reach. That, together with YouTube thinking I'm some sort of subversive for trying to save the planet, rather than posting videos of pets doing cute things, or people screaming at each other, or hilariously nearly breaking their necks in accidents, I am not particularly favoured by their algorithms. So if you can show me some love by punching the like button, subscribing to my channel and sharing this video across any of these social media platforms. This really does help me to reach a wider audience and hopefully affect positive change. And please do let me have your comments. Did you stock up on toilet roll? Let me know in the comments below. Are there any subjects that you would like to see me cover on future videos? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video and found it useful or just weirdly compelling, you might like this one, or even this one. No tap water was harmed in the making of this video.